America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Day one, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. You can always call in and text in to this show by dialing 833-212-1017 to the Truth Talking text line. Again, that is 833-212-1017. As always, if you want to stream us, download the award-winning 1017 The Truth app. That is the 1017 The Truth app. Matter of fact, as I say, Rhea, go ahead. We ain't done this in a couple days. Job security. You like job security, don't you? Yeah, open up that app. Go ahead. Open up that app and stream us live. Oh, she don't like job security, I guess. There it is. There it is. Open up the app, stream us live. You can stream us live, turn the volume down. But in addition to that, Truth Nation, you can also go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. So you can watch and stream us live. Give us a like, give us a share, and give us a subscribe as well. Well, I guess the government's shut down, huh? 750,000 employees no longer are currently getting paid. Some are still working, like TSA agents still have to work. And a good thing about this shutdown is at least the shutdown happened after folks got their check. So folks got paid and then the government shut down. So at least now they working, but like they're working as if they're going to get paid on the 14th, which I hope they do. I think they'll come to a resolution with this. Not going to talk about that today. Maybe I'll break it down and give my opinions and thoughts on the government shutdown and how we got here. But I feel like right now it's only been a couple hours, 12 hours, almost exactly 13 hours, and not that big of an impact yet. Though some people are currently not going to work. But anyways, I do off the top today want to talk about the Milwaukee County budget because the Milwaukee County budget was released yesterday. The proposal that Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley came out with. He had his big speech yesterday. He'll be joining 620 WTMJ sometime after 3 o'clock today on Wisconsin Afternoon News to talk about the budget. And I'm sure many other things as well. But last week we had a conversation talking about the city budget and my reaction to the city budget. And now I want to make sure I keep people informed and updated on what is happening with the county budget. So this is how I feel off the top.
Woke up this morning. You got yourself.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Now, contrary to what some may believe, and shout out to my producer, Rhea Riley, on the ones and the twos.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, she sound tired today. Girl, why you sound so tired? What you do last night? What you go out there? What was it yesterday? Was Tuesday?
All right.
Taco Tuesday, Turn It Up Tuesday. Had the club going up on a Tuesday.
No Taco Tuesday.
But contrary to belief, some people may think I'm filled with a lot of emotions, which I am. I can be a little bit of a roller coaster who gets mad all the time. I don't think I'm mad all the time. I think I just sometimes I react to things. My face tells a story. I can't hide my reaction a lot of times. And overall, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think I'm pretty happy and positive most times. I think I'm a pretty positive person. I look at things as glass half full. But I get frustrated. When I get frustrated, I like to call it out. And with the lack of urgency from our politicians to do what I believe is the right thing for our community, I get upset about that. I really do. So today, that's why I wanted to take the time to make sure I updated everybody, informed everybody on this Milwaukee County budget, because most of us live in Milwaukee County. And so I think it's important for us to understand what is happening in Milwaukee County. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley released his budget yesterday, and I want to provide y'all with the big takeaways from this budget. Now, the big takeaway from this $47 million budget is the fact that there is a $47 million budget gap. Excuse me, I should say, from the budget, there's a $47 million gap. And it seems to be the case every single year that there is some funding budget deficit and some funding budget gap. Now, the $47 million budget gap we have, according to David Crowley, our county executive himself, is due to things such as overtime, due to things such as the American Rescue Plan Act funds that basically ran out that the Biden administration provided to help folks during COVID-19. Those funds have dried up and ran out, so now we have less federal funds assisting us as well. Due to the soaring overtime costs for employees that are working overtime, due to federal cuts, due to Milwaukee County transit system, which is operating in the red and facing rising costs. And at the same time, shout out to them because they ended up getting a contract where they got raises. Somehow they have a budget deficit, but they got raises. And now they're asking for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office to be on buses, which is probably going to cost us more money. But, hey, it is what it is. Congratulations to them. Just a lot of rising costs, right, is the reason why we have this $47 million budget deficit, this budget gap. Now, before we get mad at David Crowley for the cuts that he made and we say that Chevy Johnson doesn't know how to balance a budget, I do want to say this. I do think it's important for us to understand the reality that many cities, villages, towns, municipalities, and counties across America, they all face similar budget deficits that we do see here in the city of Milwaukee and the county of Milwaukee. And so though we are impacted by, oh no, that's not good. Another job, we're losing jobs again here in the state of, in the country. It's gonna look like there's gonna be bad job numbers coming out in a couple of days. But anyways, even though we are so focused locally, right? We're so focused on, Milwaukee, we broke, we're poor, we don't have money, we have the deficit, we have this pension problem. Like, we're focused here locally, but what we have to do understand is that this is not just a Milwaukee issue. This is an issue that you will find across different areas and municipalities across this country. And when you look at there are many factors which play into why Milwaukee has this budget deficit and why you see budget deficits across the U.S. in many different cities, big cities and small cities. You have less economic activity because since the pandemic, people are working more from home, right? So think about that. I work here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Now, the 3rd Street Market Hall is in downtown Milwaukee. If 5-6 years ago, downtown Milwaukee had people going to work 5 days a week, not working from home. That means you have more people who are looking to find places to eat for lunch, which is going to inevitably lead to more people coming down to the market hall to actually buy food. But when you have more people working from home, that means you have less potential lunch customers. So that's just how things work, economic activity. You know, there's a lot of people that are impacted by the loss of federal funds, climate change, which created more natural disasters to be stronger, like the one that we saw here in Milwaukee, which caused significant damage, which caused millions and millions of dollars worth of damage, which you can plan for a natural disaster, but nobody is planning for $20+ million in damages in the city from a natural disaster, especially in a span of 48 to 72 hours. That's just not something that it's not good planning to plan for something like that, especially as that's not common. Yeah, you have a rainy day fund, legit this time, rainy day fund, but your rainy day fund is not going to be at record levels because you can't predict that you're going to have record levels worth of damage. But that is something that we faced in this past year, and you see these natural disasters, whether it's hurricanes that are, hitting the East Coast, or whether it's wildfires that are hitting the West Coast. These type of natural disasters are hitting and causing for cities and towns to have more damages, flooding. And the biggest factor that we see is based off decisions that were made 40 years ago that are negatively impacting us now, is the fact that cities across this country are spending so much money on employees and they're struggling to fund pensions and health benefits for their workforce, right? As municipalities' retirees live longer and require more health care and insurance, the cost continues to go up. And studies have shown for years that, politicians that we had here 20 years ago, 30 years ago, underfund the retirement and the pension benefits for public employees, and this approach has done nothing but kick the can down the road for future generations. And now we are, Rhea, myself, many of y'all listening, we are the future taxpayer generation that is, trying to figure out how are we going to pay down some of these pension plans and the things that they kick down the road. And again, this is not just a Milwaukee issue. And I just want to put it out there that, yes, we are focused on local and we should hold them accountable for finding out the issue or finding a solution that works best for us. But do understand that David Crowley and Cavalier Johnson are not the only folks here in the state of Wisconsin. And they're not the only folks here in this country that are facing some type of budget deficit due to what was done years ago. Now, with that, I do want to talk about what is in Crowley's budget and how we can have our voices be heard, because there will be some listening sessions that you can go and, have your voice be heard and have your input when it comes to this county budget. Now, with this budget and looking to close this gap, Crowley has proposed a lot of cutting. He's looking to reduce the Milwaukee County Transit System bus routes that are being operated. They're going to reduce how many bus routes that they have, which I feel like, again, it's disappointing, but I believe it is necessary because you cannot operate in the red. That's just not how business is done. So it sucks for folks who depend on bus lines to go out towards Mayfair and bus lines to go to different places to be able to get to work. But unfortunately, we have to make sacrifices, and that is an unfortunate sacrifice that we have to make. But at the same time, we are also putting sheriffs on the bus, like I said before. So again, that's going to cost us more money, because we have to figure out some of those safety concerns. And unfortunately, they're also looking to cut $17.6 million from behavioral health services, which is a shame, because in a time where you have mass shootings happening, in a time where you have homelessness still persisting, at a time where people need additional assistance, we are cutting $17.6 million from behavioral health services. But again, you got to cut from somewhere, and unfortunately, that is on the table to get cut. And another unfortunate thing is that you're also going to see an increase in your property taxes again. And the way they tried to paint this was, well, we increased it, but it's still lower than a level in 2023. Don't matter. It's still going up. My property tax bill is still going up, which means, yes, you're going to pay more in property taxes next year in 2026. So on top of the city, now you're going to see it seems like maybe a smaller increase, but you're still going to see an increase in your property tax bill. And I was doing some more research over this weekend, because last week I talked about my property tax bill. I didn't have the exact number because I didn't have my exact property tax bill right there in front of me at the time. I just take a glance because I don't like looking at stuff that makes me upset or things that make me sad. But I talked about some people's property tax bill just, going up 50%. Mine has doubled. Mine has doubled from 2018 or 2019 to 2024 tax bill. I have seen my tax bill double. So that's an 100% plus increase in my tax bill. We're talking about $2,000+ that I'm paying additional.
Damn.
Per year. Let's get that's not just $2,000 extra just one time. No, that's $2,000 extra per year that I have to pay for my property tax bill. My property value actually went up. Here's the thing. When I bought this property, I'll put my business out there. I bought this property for $144,000 back in 2018. At that time, it was when it was valued at $126 by the city. Rhea, do you know what the property value of my home is now? From 2018 to now, what the city is? She's shaking $285,000. From a house from 126 in 2018, bringing the property value to $285,000. And guess what? Next year, guess what? It's going to jump up. They're going to try to jump it up again. And there's a lot of factors that play into it, but I just want people to understand that it's getting out of hand. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. And matter of fact, I think before I bought the house, it was valued at $99. I remember when I bought it, they were like, damn, you paying too much over. I was like, it's worth it. So, again, last week, I'll let y'all know that the city budget was very anti-middle class. But this budget here that we have from the Milwaukee County, I don't think it's very anti-middle class. I think it actually was I think David Crowley, his approach was very much so approach of somebody who's running for governor and understanding that you have to make cuts and make tough decisions. And so I applaud him for doing that, for making those tough decisions. And yes, we are going to see a property tax increase, but it's not going to be as significant. And I do think that though I talk about some of the problems, I do think it's important to talk about solutions. Again, go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube to listen, because this is where I need y'all input. Because last week I talked about how that budget was very anti-middle class. And last week some people may be seeing me yelling and screaming, being upset, being emotional, the complain guy. I don't want to be the complain guy that doesn't offer solutions. And I told y'all last week I was going to take time this week after David Crowley's budget came out to be able to think about possible solutions that we can provide. Because remember, they have listening sessions, right? You have a common council member here in the city of Milwaukee that you can email, that you can call, you can get a response to. Most of your common council members will respond to you via email. Phone calls hit or miss because, they got to be in office. But when it comes to emails, most of your common council members will either them or somebody who works on their staff will respond to your email. I have emailed my common council member and they have responded to my email. And so if you are someone that is actively caring about making a decision, or not making a decision, but having your voice heard, there will be opportunities to be able to have your voice heard. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that we can think about solutions. So when we come back, I want y'all to stay locked in, because I want to have a discussion about how we can pay down this deficit that we have here without hitting the middle class over and over again, without putting the burden on our shoulders over and over again. 833-212-1017. I want to hear some of y'all ideas. Let's share those ideas about how the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County can look for other ways to generate revenue in order to take the burden off the shoulders of the middle class, take the burden off the shoulders of homeowners here in Milwaukee or Milwaukee County to have to pay for everything. Because I want y'all to understand is that there are people who work for the city and people who work for the county who are listening to this show or who are listening to this station. And it will take a whole community to get the real change that we need. They are listening. They are seeing things on social media. I know for a fact I done seen people like stuff and share stuff. I done seen it. I done know people complain. People love be upset. We know the police be listening because we know stuff on social media that have been taken down too. All of a sudden, you remember that DJ Brother Z when they took that stuff down? Or he left? Oh, he got his headphones on. You remember when that happened? They took the stuff down off social media. The police took the stuff down off social media with Tory. Yeah, I mean, it's so people, they're listening and they're watching. And so this is our opportunity to utilize this platform for good change. So when we come back, 833-212-1017. I want y'all to text in or call in some of the solutions that you believe we can find and generate revenue to help our budget deficit, but more importantly, not have it be on the shoulders of us. 833-212-1017. Let's talk solutions when we come back. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We'll take your calls. We'll take your text next, but we're going to have budget solutions. I'm going to share some ideas. I want to share some of y'all. Y'all can watch and stream us live on YouTube. We'll share some coming up on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth fam. This is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as the Hilltoppers celebrate homecoming against the West Allis Hale Huskies on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
Here at Odom Investments and Property Management, we bring life back to homes. Looking to sell your home or need a trusted property manager? Or maybe you're ready to learn the real estate game through our Scale Up Journey internship program. Call us at 855-ODOM WAY or visit odomhomes.com to get started today. That's odomhomes.com or 855-ODOM WAY. Your journey begins here.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Monday night at Lambeau just got even better thanks to American Family Insurance. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes for your chance at the ultimate Packers game day experience. One lucky fan will score tickets to the November 10th game, a pregame tailgate in Titletown, inclusive of meal and games, a signed Jordan Love jersey, Packers tour swag, and so much more. Your dream weekend could be waiting, Truth Nation. Don't miss your chance to enter. No purchase necessary. Enter by 11:59 Central Time on October 23rd. See official rules and enter at amfam.com/Packers. That's amfam.com/Packers. I wonder if I can win this. I'm not an official employee of American Family Insurance, but I'm a user and love American Family Insurance. Make sure you'll go to amfam.com today to get a quote or find an agent near you. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And on the other side, I was having a conversation simply talking about the fact that Milwaukee County is facing a $47 million budget deficit. And yesterday, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley came out with his budget plan. And I felt like his budget plan was, I thought it was good, right? When I saw, the one for the city, I thought the one for the city was very, very heavy on the middle class. This one, I feel like, again, you got to do what you got to do. And you got to make cuts. And I felt like the cuts were looking more inward than it was outward. And I actually appreciated that. But again, as someone who truly believes in, I can't just sit here and tell y'all about issues and not provide any type of solution. So I want y'all to go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Again, you can give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, or you can call in at 833-212-1017. And I want to see some of y'all ideas y'all have for how we can pay down this budget deficit without having to tax the hell out of the middle class. Now, with finding some of these solutions, I came up with some different ideas that I want to talk through and discuss, because when when our mayor and our Milwaukee County executive went up to Madison and they were trying to negotiate a shared revenue deal, obviously the shared revenue deal fell short and it wasn't good enough, because we're still not getting enough revenue in order to meet some of our needs. We're not getting enough of the money that we're generating for the state coming back to us. Now, side note, this is why having fair election maps is so important. This is why when you're hearing stories about gerrymandering, it's so dangerous that these states are gerrymandering, because the needs of the city like Milwaukee and the county like Milwaukee, which is the economic engine for the state of Wisconsin, not getting the money they deserve, even though they fund the state, basically. We fund programs in little rural Wisconsin. We have to struggle because we're not getting our money. That's why I'm telling y'all, voting is important, and I'm telling y'all, gerrymandering is bad, because the Republicans gerrymandered the hell out of the state of Wisconsin, which we have some of the most gerrymandered maps in the country. And now we are paying the price. And when I say paying the price, I'm not talking about physically, I'm not talking about emotionally, I'm talking about financially with our pockets. We are paying this price of not getting our share of revenue because of the work of Scott Walker, because of the work of Republicans. And there's nothing around that. You cannot challenge me on that. You cannot say that's not true. You cannot say I don't like the Republicans. No, it's factual. If the Senate here in the state of Wisconsin and the Assembly here in the state of Wisconsin looked different and it was all blue, Milwaukee would have less of this financial issue that we have now. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, looking at some of the ways that we can fill some of this budget gap, I want to share some ideas, because first I think that we need to think about how we could be more efficient and how we need to make sacrifices. And I say this with Milwaukee County and City of Milwaukee employees in mind. When it comes to these employees, I understand, everybody should get a raise if they deserve it. But at this point in time, we can't afford to give raises, so there needs to be a freeze on all raises for Milwaukee County employees and city employees. And as someone who comes from a family who worked for, city and work for county and I come from a family of those employees. So you think it's not easy for me to say something like that, but that's the reality. Sacrifices need to be made. There needs to be a freeze on raises because we can't afford raises. But the great thing about it, even though that sounds unfair, the benefits that our city and county employees get, the retirement benefits, the health care benefits, the benefits that they have are fantastic. I don't know if I told this story before. I remember the time I went to the dentist, right? When you a kid, you on your parents' health insurance. And when I went to the dentist growing up, I got fluoride treatment every time. Every time. I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was normal. Your boy turned 26. I still had good health insurance. I had state health insurance. I didn't have state and I had MPS and city insurance when growing up. And when I went to the dentist, I said, "Hey, y'all didn't do my fluoride." They said, "Oh, you want fluoride?" I said, "Yeah, you're supposed to do my fluoride. What you talking about?" So they gave my fluoride treatment. All right, I'll leave out. Next thing you know, they're talking about just $40 bill. I said, $40 bill for what? For fluoride. I said, I ain't never paid a bill for fluoride. This is wrong. This ain't right. So, they did what they did. They looked through and said, no. Based off your new health insurance under your employer, you 26 now, you got your own insurance, your dental, I should say. Fluoride ain't free. I said, what? I said, folks been walking around here not getting fluoride treatment. I thought that was normal. And so, again, it's important for us, to understand that these folks got some really good health insurance and some great benefits who work for the county. So a freeze in wages is something that must be instituted. Now, on top of that, I applaud David Crowley for looking to be more efficient with his employees and looking to find ways of how they can cut millions of dollars. And they were able to find millions of dollars worth of cuts that they could make in different departments. And I applaud him for that. But I know Rhea going to shake her head when she hear this. We also need to find a way to get with the times. AI is here. Again, I talked about why AI is dangerous, why it's bad, why your electric bill is going to go up, why they're going to have commercials about health issues with AI 25 years from now, 15 to 25 years from now. But AI is here. In Milwaukee County and the city of Milwaukee should be utilizing AI to ensure that we don't need to hire more people and we can save money on hiring more employees and making sure that the employees that they have understand how they can use technology to be more efficient in their work, to make sure that those 8 hours that they're at work, they're as efficient as possible. So you don't have to hire additional people that you have to pay an additional salary, that you have to pay additional benefits to. You got to continue to find ways to save money. Now, in addition to that, we need to continue to cut wasteful spending. Anything that is wasteful should be cut. Cut wasteful spending. Now, the next thing that I think that we should also look to do is that Milwaukee as a city offers so much culturally, with events. There's so many things that we offer. And I believe that the city of Milwaukee needs to take advantage of the fact that we are the economic engine for the state, and that if you want to go to a Milwaukee Brewers game, guess what? You got to come to Milwaukee. If you want to go see the Milwaukee Bucks play, oh, guess what? You got to come to Milwaukee. If you want to go to Summerfest to see a great concert with Ed Sheeran or the country, Garth Brooks, I think, who's coming to Summerfest, oh, you got to come to Milwaukee. So what we have to understand is that when we have all these attractions, when we have sporting events, when we have concerts, and we have conferences in this city, we need to be charging people a fee. The Bucks just built a brand new music venue next to Fiserv, and we provided them with that land for cheap. We need to make sure we get that money back. We need to make sure that people who attend these sporting events and concerts are paying an extra fee beyond the sales tax on that ticket. If you want to enjoy the luxuries of our city, you need to pay an additional fee. And have it be for those who don't have a Milwaukee County address. So if you buy a ticket online through Ticketmaster, and when you enter your information of where you are from, if you do not have a Milwaukee County address, you do not live in Milwaukee County, there needs to be an additional charge on every single ticket that is not from Milwaukee County. So if people want to go to Summerfest at the amphitheater, if people want to go see their favorite artist, their favorite comedy show, if people want to go see the Bucks, the Brewers, Marquette, Disney on Ice, and you don't live in Milwaukee County and you don't pay taxes here in Milwaukee County, you should be paying an additional $3 to $5 minimum on every single ticket that you buy. Why? Because we're broke. We are poor. And instead of putting the burden on my shoulders or Rhea's shoulders or Zach's shoulders or Truth Nation's shoulders, we need to put the burden on other people's shoulders. If you think for a second an additional $3 to $5 on a ticket, which the Brewers already do for non-baseball games, but if you don't think an additional $3 to $5 on a ticket, people won't even blink at it. They won't fret over that. They want to go see the best team in baseball. They want to go see Taylor Swift. Well, Taylor's not coming to Milwaukee. We don't have a venue for it. But we have to increase fees on these tickets of those who are not from Milwaukee. If you want to park in the city of Milwaukee as well for one of these events, just like Uber has surge prices, we need to have surge prices as well for when it comes to parking. We need to tax parking. These parking places, they need to understand when we have big-time events, there needs to be an additional fee. But we need to tax and fee the hell out of people for using our attractions, using our roads, using our facilities that our tax dollars help build, because don't get it twisted. When you think of American Family Field, our tax dollars built that. When you think of Fiserv Forum, our tax dollars built that. When you think of all the things here in Milwaukee of the police that are standing outside of the venues to be security, our tax dollars funded that. When you see barricades that are put up to block off streets, guess what? Them barricades were from our tax dollars funding that. And so everything that moves in this city is mostly funded by our tax dollars. And with the funding being from our tax dollars, we need to make sure we find a way to get our money back beyond the sales tax. When you look at these hotels in downtown Milwaukee, if somebody's going to come to downtown Milwaukee, there needs to be a hotel city fee that needs to be increased, that people need to pay because they have no choice but to do that. So what I'm proposing, Truth Nation, is that if people want to utilize our attractions inside our beautiful city, and you are not from Milwaukee County, tax the hell out of them. Don't tax the hell out of me, because we have so many great amenities and so many great attractions that people want to utilize, whether it's going to the Art Museum, the Betty Brim Museum, whether it's going to the Milwaukee Museum, we have the Public Museum, or the new museum that's going to open in 2027. Anything you choose to do in this city of Milwaukee, there needs to be a surge charge fee beyond the sales tax fee for anybody that does not have a Milwaukee County address. Because far too often and far too long, they have put the burden on the shoulders of taxpayers who are property taxpayers who own a house here in the city of Milwaukee. That is not fair. Tax those that decide not to sleep here. Tax those that decide not to live here. Tax those that decide that Milwaukee is not their home. Tax those that decide not to invest in Milwaukee on a day-to-day basis. Tax those who do not have a vested interest in Milwaukee. That's who should be paying that, not us with more property taxes. 833-212-1017. Al, the town, I see y'all. We're going to take y'all calls. We're going to take y'all texts on the other side as we are having a conversation talking about ideas that you have on how we can generate additional revenue for our city without raising taxes on homeowners here in the city of Milwaukee. We already got to pay 7.9% here in the city of Milwaukee on a sales tax that is extremely detrimental to our pocketbooks, which already makes us more broke and more poor in this city. Let's pass that burden on to those who are coming from outside of our city. Outsiders should be paying these fees, not locals. 833-212-1017. Again, that's the Truth Talking text line. I want to hear your ideas. Also, you can go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube to share some of the ideas that you have. But again, we'll hear from Al. We'll hear from the town. We'll hear from Truth Nation coming up next right here on Truth to Power.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The early bye week is already here for the Green Bay Packers as they sit at 2-1-1 going into Week 5. The next matchup is October 12th in Lambeau against Cincinnati. The Brewers are gearing up for the NLDS matchup against either the Padres or the Cubs. The Cubs won their Tuesday Game 1 and could end the wildcard matchup today. Brewers postseason would begin Saturday with time still to be determined. The Milwaukee Bucks began their training camp Tuesday but also had media day on Monday. Bobby Bobby Portis on what he thinks of the team and their upcoming season.
Every year is a new obstacle that you have to overcome. We'll be ready for it. It's going to hit every year at some point. It might hit early, it might hit in the middle, it might hit in the end. I have a great makeup of guys who work hard, great makeup of guys who I think Doc can actually coach.
Badger football returns from bye week and on to Ann Arbor to face Michigan. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, and we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. We'll be giving away an opportunity for somebody to get entered to win $5,000, courtesy of the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all, 5K giveaway. So make sure y'all stay locked in to Truth to Power so you don't miss your chance to call in for that. 833-212-1017. We're having a conversation talking about the Milwaukee County budget that was proposed yesterday by County Executive David Crowley. In addition to that, piling on with the City of Milwaukee budget that was proposed almost 2 weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago now, by Mayor Cavalier Johnson. And with that, I talked about how a lot of these budgets are talking about how we are going to be paying more in property taxes. The county budget is asking for more money in property taxes. The city budget is asking for significantly more in property taxes. And I said that it's just putting a burden on our shoulders. And I talked about this last week and talking about it again today, and I felt like it's important for us to talk about solutions. And one of my solutions was, if you do not live in Milwaukee County and you decide you want to use any of our attractions, you should be paying an additional fee. And on 1017 The Truth on YouTube, you can watch the stream as live on YouTube. A great conversation happening. LaRon said to me, saying that those who do not have a license or that says Milwaukee County or don't have a Milwaukee County address, when they pay for these tickets and they buy to use any of our attractions, whether it's Summerfest, the Bucks, the Brewers, or any of the great attractions we have in downtown Milwaukee, hell, to go on the river to take a boat, because they don't have a river like we do, I said they should pay an additional fee. And LaRon said in Milwaukee, people should be taxed on things outside of Milwaukee County. And I said, sure. If that's what they want to do, if the Green Bay Packers want to have a fee, sure, do it. If the Wisconsin Badgers want to have a fee, sure, do it. If the Waukesha County Fair wants to have a fee for those outside, do it. Brain Rot said Waukesha County charges non-residents more for park access. So it sounds like if I want to have park access and I'm not a Waukesha County resident, it sounds like I have to pay more to be able to utilize that. And so with that, I think there should be some additional fee, but I want to hear how y'all feel. How should we fill this budget gap here in the city of Milwaukee? Should we continue to put the burden on the shoulders of the taxpayers, or should we look to raise fees or have different ideas? That's what I want to hear from you. 833-212-1017. Al in Milwaukee, how do you believe we should close this $47 million budget gap here in Milwaukee County?
We can close it real fast. Every MPS school that's empty, sell it. Cavaliers Johnson salary and Jeffrey Norman pay increase, take it back. If they don't like it, get the F out. Also, withdraw that downtown money, okay? We got pay tolls. Put them pay tolls. They coming in Milwaukee anyway to work because they don't live here. They got to pay to come in. If you want to pay, if you don't want to pay, stay. And they not put them pay tolls up. Stop building low-income housing. You on Titonia and Valete, they're building a welfare building with behavioral health. You don't need that. You got behavioral health that's 2 doors, 2 blocks right behind. Go to MPS, take that $1.2 million that they use to buy them vans that's sitting on the parking lot. And then if you really want to get the money back, the people who effed up the money, that's who you need to be taxing. That's what you need to do.
Al, I appreciate you.
That's all you got to do.
I appreciate your
Have a good day. And if they don't.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate your insight. And right now, when you look at the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County, you're looking at City of Milwaukee with a $100 million budget gap for 2026, and Milwaukee County $47 million. So altogether, we're looking at a little under $150 million budget gap with the city and the county. The county has more people that they can disperse this upon because the county is much larger than the city alone. But 833-212-1017. What ideas do you have for closing this gap that we have for the budget here in the city of Milwaukee, the town? You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are some of your thoughts on this?
What's going on, brother?
What's
hey, what you just said, though, I feel whacked. They need to get whacked because if you think about it, everybody from the surrounding counties to Chicago, they come up here and enjoy all this almost for the free.
Mm.
You go down to Chicago, everything costs. You know what I'm saying? So I love that idea right there. It should be a surcharge. If you're not from, I feel like if you're not from Milwaukee County, then it should be a charge. If you're from the surrounding 5 counties, it should be a charge too. It should, the surrounding 5 counties should be lower though than everybody else though. I think they should get a little love. But I love that idea for real. Another idea that I had was that Milwaukee, why don't we just turn this city 24/7? Turn this city because like, you know, everybody be saying in Milwaukee everything closed so soon. You know, let's turn these hours for the bars and stuff like that, entertainment stuff. And that way they can have more money coming in. And then we'll probably give, put a % on there too. You know what I'm saying?
Are you concerned about some of the issues that we've had with crime here in the city of Milwaukee? And granted, a lot of it doesn't happen downtown Milwaukee, but when you have attractions open nonstop, are you concerned that there may be some riffraff, as some would say, after 2 o'clock?
No, I don't, because it's gonna be like that anyway, and the money, we can use that to get more police out there to just a patrol or whatever like that. That one, and one final thing though, it's a whole bunch of money they say they got in Madison, like a rainy day fund or whatever.
They do have a lot.
Put up.
They do,
and they not. And we need that money. We need a good chunk of that money because, like you said, we the economic engine of the state. You know, we need that. We need that money though. So, like how you said, you know what I'm saying? Charge everybody else. Turn this joint 24/7. Because the mayor, like, he want 1 million people here. How you want 1 million people here? How it is right now? It's gonna have to be changes. Come on, let's turn this up. You know what I'm saying? A little longer hours, whatever like that. That's more pay, and that's pay for some of this stuff, some of these streets and some of these schools and what have you.
Ain't that true?
Because I'm a homeowner myself, and they whacking.
Yeah, they are.
It's like ridiculous whacking.
They are whacking. Even if your money go up, guess what? The cost of living continues to rise up. Thank you, Deton. I appreciate you sharing that. And he did mention something talking about the economic surplus that we have in the state of Wisconsin. We do. Last year in 2024, there was a $4.5 billion surplus of money. $4.5 billion surplus of money, and that was down from the previous year where I think it was $7 billion in surplus of money. And so the state of Wisconsin has the surplus where they definitely could assist, but they want to save it for a rainy day, or they want to give it back in tax cuts for all taxpayers. So, again, 833-212-1017. That is why leadership matters. I'm telling y'all this right now. We would not be in the dire straits that we are in. And a lot of it is our fault and people from the past. But if Wisconsin was blue in the assembly, if Wisconsin was blue in the state senate, and if Wisconsin was blue in the governor's mansion, we would not be having this same conversation about the deficit, not because we were asking for a handout, but only because we will be getting more of a shared revenue money that we generated, more of the tax dollars that we generated. Because when we talk about all these different events, when I talk about all the different things happening in the city of Milwaukee, do understand that a lot of that has to go to the state, and then we get some of it back. And so the problem is for us overall, we're generating all these different activities, but we're not getting our fair share of what we are generating. 833-212-1017. I'm looking for y'all ideas. I'm looking for y'all input on, for those who are listening. Again, there's some politicians who are listening, but also for people to be able to have in their mind some different ideas. It's more of an open session here for us to figure out how we can better find different avenues to generate revenue here in the state of Wisconsin, in the city of Milwaukee, versus taxing homeowners here in Milwaukee. Security Mike, what are your thoughts on this conversation?
Find different avenues. How you doing, Cal? I agree with that we should do a toll, and then everybody should be voting blue now. I mean, even all around, they see what's going on now with the man at the top. Even they should be voting Democrats because they're the only one that care about the people down here. And that thing with having this city 24/7, that's not going to work, man. You think they're clowning right now? They're going to get even worse. We don't need to be having this open 24/7. No way. No way possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the toll would work, and just start voting just blue. And I think that's going to happen now because Trump, what he's doing is just devastating to the country, man.
Yep.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much, Security Mike. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's input, and I'll share some more thoughts that I have on the other side. But before that, man, y'all know what time it is.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all is right. Now is your chance to get entered to win $5,000 from the 5K giveaway from Gruber Law Offices. You can be entered to win $5,000, just $5,000 by being caller number 10 right now. Be caller number 10 at 833-212-1017. Rhea gave me a look. Caller number 10. Yeah, make them work for it. Be caller number 10 at 833-212-1017 for your chance to be entered to win $5,000, courtesy of the Gruber Cash giveaway and the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Again, that is caller number 10 at 833-212-1017 to be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices in 1017 The Truth. And always remember, with Gruber Law Offices, they are a law firm that is helping people and helping families who are seriously injured in an accident. They stand up for victims and they take the burden off their shoulders. They focus on the legal aspect while you as their client can focus on healing. All you have to do is make one call, that's all. My favorite thing, other than the great service, is the fact that you pay no fee. There's no cost to call, consult with them, or retain them as a law firm, and you never pay a single penny until they win your case. Get the law firm that gets the winning results by going to gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. And always remember, it's one call, that's all with Gruber Law Offices.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretend conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, your host of Truth to Power. Shout out to y'all, Truth Nation. The phones were on fire. Phones were on fire today for the giveaway, as we've been having a conversation talking about the significant budget deficit that we have here in the city of Milwaukee, and how can we find a way to generate additional revenue. Also, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. And some suggestions we have is Brain Rot said, we pay high taxes for plenty of shared amenities. Wild County does not. Why would we give outlying counties access to our great amenities without having to pay for it? I agree. I 100% agree. I think for us, when you look at the fact that we have a deficit, and again, this deficit is not unique to the city of Milwaukee. It's not unique to the county. A lot of this has to do with pension costs. A lot of this has to do with rising costs of doing business. And with that, we have to find a way to balance out this budget. And when we're talking about balance the budget, there's many sacrifices that have to be made. But we need to find a way to generate revenue without burdening the regular taxpayer, without raising fees to be able to use the car, without raising fees to be able to use lights. Because when you nickel and dime middle class folks, then it hurts the economy in other ways. I told you, I went to the grocery store. I went to Costco. And when I went to Costco, I had sticker shock because of how much stuff cost. And so when life is already getting more expensive and becoming less affordable, and we have hundreds of thousands of people losing jobs, this is all an avalanche. This is all moving in momentum in a negative direction. The pendulum is swinging towards America crumbling, economically crumbling. And now you have here locally our county executive and our mayor asking us for more when we don't have more to give. I don't personally have more to give. And so that's why when I think about us being strategic, I applaud when you make certain cuts and you make sacrifices, even though it sucks that you're going to be cutting a bus line. That's terrible for those who utilize that. But we have to find a way to make sacrifices so it's not always the taxpayers, the property taxpayers, who are bearing the burden of trying to keep the city or keep the county afloat. That's why I think it is essential that we make sure that these great amenities that we have here in the city of Milwaukee, we utilize that and tax people on it. That is why when you go and you vote for people that have the best interests of the city of Milwaukee in mind. Because when I think about marijuana, don't smoke it. I don't hit the blunt, hit the pen, whatever the kids do now. What the kids do nowadays? They hit the vape pens, hit the pen. I don't do none of that. But what I do know is a lot of people like to hit the vape, like to hit the pen. A lot of people like to smoke southern marijuana, which is cool. I want you to smoke all the weed that your little heart desires. You want to smell like a skunk, go right ahead. But I feel like here in the city of Milwaukee, we need to advocate. We need to ask those in power to legalize marijuana so we can now start utilizing that. That could be an immediate quick fix to some of the budget deficits that we see. A huge, huge injection of revenue and money if we were to tax the hell out of weed. And maybe we can even make Milwaukee a tax haven, a weed haven. I think that was an idea that was floated by Lena Taylor when she was running for mayor. I think that might have been an idea. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure I heard that. I don't want to say Lena floated an idea that she didn't, but somebody floated that idea. But we got to think of strategic, unique ways in order to generate revenue without trying to add more fees, usage fees in the city of Milwaukee, without adding more property tax fees to the city of Milwaukee, because we just can't continue to go on like that. But this has been Truth to Power with Kyle Walls here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. The Tory Lowe Show is up next from 1 to 4. I will be back tomorrow. Peace out. I love y'all, Truth Nation. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
They're doing it by the beat. They're driving that funky soul. New York, get yourself together and drive your funky soul.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family